The draft has not happened yet, but the Browns have done a ton in free agency. They've filled a lot of needs in free agency. They have a starting quarterback for 2018. So, Mary Kay, what in your mind is a reasonable expectation? If you want to put a win total on it, go for it. But what's a reasonable expectation for the Browns?
You know, I think they have to have a big dramatic turnaround this year after everything that they've done. Like you said, they've made a lot of trades. They brought in Tyrod. They brought in Jarvis Landry. They brought in Demarius Randall. And like you said, the draft hasn't even happened yet. There are 5 picks probably coming in the first 2 rounds if they use all of those selections. Now, the first pick is going to be a quarterback that he's going to sit for a year, so we can kind of put him on the back burner. But the number 4 pick, if they stay right there, is going to be an impact player of some sort. I'm saying Bradley Chubb there. He can come in and make a huge difference on your defense right away. So I think, I'm keeping you in suspense here, Dan. I think that they should reasonably expect to win 7 games this year.
You know, I don't think that's unfair because, again, you look at all the needs, you sit down and list the needs, and they've gone out and they've addressed most of them in free agency. So now you're going to draft guys that will come in and maybe compete for jobs, maybe wait a little while to start, maybe be part-time players at first, and you haven't necessarily given yourself 10-win talent, 11-win talent. That's the goal of these draft picks eventually.
Right.
But, I mean, I'm with you. 7 wins is a lot, but you do what you do, you spend the money you spend, you should go out and win 6 or 7 games. I don't think that's an unreasonable expectation.
The other thing to consider is that some of your guys from last year, you would expect them to be taking a step up. So Myles Garrett got off to a slow start because of an injury. If he stays healthy, he should be a double-digit sacker this year. Jabril Peppers had to play out of position. He's going to be at strong safety, making bigger plays closer to the line this year. And David Njoku, if all goes well and as planned, he should make more of an impact at tight end. So you have some kids growing up too. Now
the issue, of course, is you still don't have a ton of depth. So you've added a bunch of starters. You still don't necessarily have a ton of depth behind those guys. So that's how it turns into maybe a 3 or 4 win season. Guys start getting hurt early. Guys start missing a ton of time. But hopefully, like you said, they can address some of that with these 5 picks in the first 2 rounds.
Well, not only that, they have added some depth in free agency. You know, some of the guys that came in later after the big trades. I mean, you're talking about, you know, the TJ Carries and you know, some of the other guys that they have gotten. You know, even on the offensive line, Chris Hubbard, Donald Stevenson. So they've added pieces to this draft, even though they weren't big names that maybe knocked your socks off.
Yeah, and even a Demarius Randall. I mean, if you draft Minka Fitzpatrick, maybe Demarius Randall becomes more of a depth guy as opposed to a starter. But it's okay to feel good, Browns fans, because they spent a bunch of money, they're going to use a bunch of picks, and this team is actually going to win some games in 2018. I think we could safely say that.